if you notice, thoughts arise. Do you notice a thought coming up and saying, do you think we should think this? Or is it just that thoughts come? So the creative principle itself is alive. That is what I would like to focus on. We are the creative principle itself. Not only can we not die, but we are that which is spontaneously creating every moment that is being created. Who else is doing it? You say, well, my separate entity is doing it. Myself, as Mary Margaret. And, you know, I've looked for that for a long time because it's a really exciting thing. If I am the creator of all my life, my good and my bad, and if I am really the creator of all that, then the hope is, if I am the creator, this is why the ego loves that thought so much. If I am the creator of my difficulty, then I can fix it. If you do not believe that, if you have watched your life and done the best you could and noticed that things continue to happen the way they happen, if that is what really happens to you, then you will begin to notice that the anxiety goes with the future thought in time, somewhere in time, I will be able to solve this. Check it out. Don't listen to me. Check it out and see. If not, the difficulty is the belief in time. If Bartholomew said anything over and over, it is, time is a creation of mind. Mind, M-I-N-D. It is a mind thought. If there is no such thing as what we call mind, and I know I'm stretching a lot of you, especially many of you perhaps just seeing this on YouTube, to stretch to the possibility of the excitement of beginning to believe that there is no metallic thing called time. If there is no thing called time, then what is happening? What is happening is that in this moment, the creative principle, which is what is the only thing that really exists, is creating something, which is why one person can create a thought of needing to move to Montana, right? That's that thought. Somebody in the other part of the world says, that's not my thing to do. Who's right? Are we going to wrestle to the floor over every concept? Well, we have to decide, well, is she right or is he right? I mean, who's right? The answer is, you are the creative principle. You, capital U, total one you, is creating, is magnificently thousands upon millions of different creations all the time. And this body-mind looks through its moment of creation and says, no, I don't think I'll move to Montana. Another one says, yes, I think I will move to Montana. Right? Wrong? No. That's not the point. There is, how can people say there is no right and wrong? Here's where we join. If we believe such a thing as there is no right wrong, then we come to this exciting thought that whatever is being created in this moment, in your life, in your seemingly separate life, it is your own rambunctious creativity as the one principle itself, creating what appears to be a separate life. And once that is really taken in, that this is the creative principle, not the body-mind, but the creative principle is alive here, using everything that's present in order to create whatever is going to be observed outside. That is the most beautiful thing in the world. If that were believed, it would be the end of war. It would be the end of conflict between person to person. If one could absolutely understand, no matter how much you might love someone else, no matter how close you might be to someone else, have you noticed that you create different worlds? Why aren't you laughing? Don't you think that's funny? I think it's extremely funny because everybody creates their own world. And then you either decide to allow the other to create their own world, or you say, no, you're wrong. Do it my way. I've got it right. How can you be so dumb as to not know that I've got it right? I've got it right. And if you just do this and this and this, then all will be well. Of course, forgetting to notice that as they're doing this and this and this, sometimes they do well and sometimes they don't. The creative principle is balanced. If there's one thing that all of the awakened ones, whatever that would be to you, say, is that there is a balance. When you get to the world of duality, there is a balance. And this is the one thing that the ego really doesn't like. Because what does it mean that there's a balance? It means there's a balance, there's some good and there's some bad. And the ego does not like that. Because the ego's story to us is let us continue to only experience the good. As long as we believe that, we will suffer. We will suffer. When we allow the magnificent possibility that even within the bad, the difficult, the terrifying, the unthinkable, the unbelievable, that which we do not want at all, but at the heart of that creation, there is, at the core of it, a magnificent something. That it doesn't have to be a beautiful flower. That it can be the mud out of which the flower comes. But the truth of it is, underneath both is the same magnificent something. So as long as we are focused on changing things to be as we want them to be, we will probably, unless we're really lucky, we will never stumble upon the magnificent awareness and experiential reality that buried under all experiences is something that is always present. Always present. You can call it anything you want, but it is always present. But if your eyes are focused on the ever-shifting world of the external, trying to get it right, and then of course, we not only want to get it right for us, but we want to get it right for other people. Understandably, we don't want our children to suffer. We want to somehow make it right. We don't want the world to suffer. We want things to be right. But if you've noticed, the world continues to do what it does. And if you've turned on the TV lately, do you think we have more harmony on the planet than we... I'm trying to be funny, but it is quite a mess, I hope if you've noticed. So what does this mean? That we should all abandon the planet and go to Pluto? Well, now there's a thought. Well, if we could do that, all right, go ahead and do that. But the fact remains, we get to Pluto, and guess what? It will be the same thing. Because whatever is the creative principle creates out of itself. It creates this instant out of itself. It is magnificently wonderful.